Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Cocktail Hour. I am Meg.
And I'm Nikki. And if you're a vendor heading to a wedding this weekend, this episode is dedicated to you.
Now, today we're talking through how quickly friendships can end once you get engaged. Also, if you didn't already notice this, which if you didn't, I would be concerned about your well-being, we are audio only. And I don't know if Nikki and I had talked about this on air last time.
No, because I said it
Afterwards, yeah. So we have made the decision that during wedding busy season, we are going to audio only. And here's the thing. When I think about you all who are listening and you're heading to weddings and you're just looking for a laugh,
all 15 of you.
All 15 of you.
We love you
so much. You're probably listening. You don't have YouTube pulled up on your phone on your way to a wedding. So, or if you're listening to us while you're editing or doing whatever, audio is fine for right now. It's busy season. It's crazy for all of us. So we just appreciate the support listening on. We'll still have the videos up on YouTube and Spotify, but we're also on Apple. So muchos gracias.
Very
Señor
nice.
And señoritas.
Bridesmaids. That's literally from Bridesmaids.
That's how I would be trying to learn Spanish. I really do want to learn. But before that,
what was I saying? That I would share on the pod?
You watched The Notebook.
Okay, so here's the thing. My mom has never seen The Notebook. So, okay, here's my...
Yeah, she was smoking crack when it came out.
So she literally was like, well, what year did it come out? Literally?
2004.
2004. And she goes, oh, well, that's probably why I was not in a good space in 2004.
Also, I just have to say really quick, I have a weird knack for knowing what year movies came out.
Clearly. What year did Mean Girls come out?
I bet it was 2002.
2004.
No way.
Rachel McAdams.
Oh, the same year. Duh.
That was hot girl summer for her.
But I used to be so obsessed with movies when I was younger and I would track them all. I would watch every movie that came out because it wasn't like it is today.
No.
This is
no.
overwhelming.
You would call the movie theater, listen to all of the times that played on the call line to hear like when the movie was playing at a certain time.
Yep.
And then you would go, you would watch it. It would be a whole fucking thing. And then you would get it on VHS, eventually Blu-ray or DVD. And it
came out on Tuesdays at the movie rental place.
Yeah.
Simpler times back then.
Simpler times.
And I also was obsessed with Rachel McAdams back then. Have you seen her in The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider?
Oh, I love
one of the best cinematic experiences of my life.
But I wasn't like obsessed with her. I didn't have like a, raging girl boner for Rachel McAdams.
I think I wanted to be her because I was poor living in a trailer and I saw her playing like Regina George or the rich pretty blonde girl on The Hot Chick or the rich pretty girl on The Notebook, and fair. I was just like, and then she's always getting in with the hotties, and I was like, yeah, that's who I would like to be. And now I'm like, she seems pretty chill as an adult.
She does. Have you ever seen Stranger Things? Did you guys ever watch it? Okay, so I've never seen it either. So segue, the reason we watched The Notebook was because Craig has seen Stranger Things probably 3 or 5 times. Like he's watched
the people who like it seem to really like it.
He puts it up there with Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones is his number 1. And he said that between Breaking Bad and whatever the fuck Stranger Things, it's top 3. So
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay,
I must have to watch it.
So I didn't know how to feel about it either. And I was like, this stupid fucking nerdy dumb show. No offense if you love it. I'm
full offense.
I'm hooked. I'm pretty pulled in. So we binged season 1 in like 2 days.
Yeah.
These aren't short episodes either. Because the final season is coming out this year.
Okay.
Each episode
How long has this show been on?
Years.
Okay.
Years. I don't know. Release. Hey Siri, what is the release date of season 1 of Stranger Things? I forgot what it was called. 2016. So it's been
over 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10. Yeah. Ugh.
Almost 10 years. So It's been on for a while.
I
It's
can
been
recall
running.
when The Notebook came out, but I can't recall what year I'm currently living in.
I literally don't know what day it is.
Okay, so Stranger Things.
So we started watching it, really hooked into it, got my mom into it. But last night we needed a little break. We needed something.
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling on Netflix and my mom was like, I've never seen The Notebook. So we watched it. Real
Thoughts?
tearjerker.
How do you feel like it held up after what that would be over 20 years?
It's a classic. It's a cinematic masterpiece. It's a literal classic. And I'm like, Craig, have you ever seen The Notebook? Because we've never watched it together. And he was like, what's that? Fucking with me because he goes, I can literally recite The Notebook word for word. He's like, I know every single word of this movie. And I was like, this is why I love you.
So good.
Your big ass. I'm just kidding. I've been kind of shaming him a little bit lately for not, working out.
I'm glad we're not in a relationship because the shame you'd be able to give me, it's been years. Well, no.
That's not true.
When Adam lost his job, I did start going to the gym with him. And then once I felt like he wasn't going to kill himself, I was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, I no longer want to be a part.
I think we should podcast and then exercise after.
I know. Even if we just took the kids on a walk.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
I think that would be well worth it.
That's actually part of my update.
Okay, wait. Here's my second half of the update, and it's going to just be the whole thing. So.
Wait, can we also really quick, while you're pulling that up, let's, though, talk about, as adult women now, watching Allie pick Noah over Cal. Is it that's Lon? Who the fuck's Cal?
Her last name is Calhoun.
Oh, okay. Oh, James Marsden's character. As an adult, do you go, yes, you should have done that, or do you go
100%? I'm not picking Lon. I don't care. You might be rich and successful, but the fact that you're not painting anymore, and you've lost yourself, and you're not living out in the freaking boonies with this man who redid this whole house for you and draws arrows to a painting room that he built for you.
Also, the money piece of it, like, yeah, Lon has money, but also, like, this man built you this big old house
and
or,
had
like,
no
restored
money.
This. Yeah. So imagine what he can do with your bod.
No.
And no money.
They screwed for like 45 seconds and she goes, that's what I've been missing this whole time. Let's do it again.
Yep.
After 5 seconds, that shit must be good.
Must be good.
He lay in that pipe.
A lot of pent up. That scene, I'm sorry, of him like grabbing her on the dock and carrying her into the house. Even when I watched it at 14 years old, I was like, this is what I was meant to be doing in life. Let's get it on. Like this, it was the best scene ever. I will say, though, I feel like Nicholas Sparks has come under fire just because we always have to talk about how problematic people are. That his books, not a lot of diversity. It is like two whites in the South.
How old is Nicholas Sparks?
Sparks. I don't know. He's an old white man, or older. I think he's like middle-aged. But
guess how old? Wait, is this the right Nicholas
Sparks? If he's like 22. Author Nicholas Sparks.
Okay, guess how old he is.
I would assume he's like 50.
Why did I think Nicholas Sparks was like 87 years old?
No.
He's 59.
I think it's because when the book or like the Notebook was out or when the movie came out, I remember looking at his photo on the biography or whatever of a book. And I was like, oh, he's like 30s. So now I figure he's 50s.
That's insane. Yeah. I thought he was in a nursing home like the people that he put in this movie.
Yeah. I can't watch the old people part. I had to fast forward through. I just watched the young people part. I don't want to see all that.
That's sick.
I don't want to see all that.
Like, because you think they're gross?
No, because it just reminds me of our morality, whatever.
Mortality.
Yeah, I can't think about death even a little bit. This happened to me last night. I was laying in bed just thinking like one day I will not be taking photographs anymore. My hands will stop working. I will die. And how do I make sure people remember my photographs? And then I start thinking I should get like a metal box and put photographs in it and like my journals and stuff, and I should dig it deep into the earth. I'm talking deep to the point where like even if someone were digging up a grave, they still wouldn't find it. But the new like, let's say the human race dies or something, and then another one comes along because the earth is going to live for so long, and then they'll find it, and then they'll be like, look at these photographs.
I wish this was on video so people could see how mortified.
Yeah, no, Nick looks pretty afraid for me. But yeah, I just like, I don't like the idea of dying, and it has nothing to do with like, if I were religious, I wouldn't like it either. The idea of heaven or hell is not what freaks me out. What freaks me out is just like, I'm not going to be able to do my little thing in the morning. I'm not going to be able to wake up, listen to Beyonce, drink a coffee. Like, it freaks me out. So anyways, I don't like interacting or looking at old people. Especially when it's like about them dying. Are you nuts? No.
You've also never experienced death. Exactly. So that's definitely a contributing factor to how you feel.
Yeah. It doesn't feel
you've never
like
had
part of the
die.
cycle.
Yeah.
It feels like the most insane concept to me because I
You've
have
never
not
experienced it.
Yeah. No one close to me has ever passed. I've never seen a body that is no longer earthside. This is not something. My sister, however, works in a hospital and sees it all the time.
Yeah, it's very normalized.
Yes, and it is normal.
And it is normal.
Quite literally, what do they say? The only two things that you are guaranteed in life is taxes and death.
Never heard that.
But it's true.
Never.
The IRS be coming.
Have I ever heard that?
And the Grim Reaper. Anyways,
I
love that no matter what we do, the intro is always on some weird shit.
Segueing into quite possibly the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Oh.
We got Baxter's DNA test back.
Yes.
And I specifically did not send it to you. I did send a video so we got the results back, not yesterday, but the day before. So what? Sunday evening at like 10 p.m. I'm getting ready for bed. When I tell you, I pull up my email and I see the email is in there, I immediately start crying. This is my gender reveal. This is my genetics reveal. This is everything to me. I don't think people fully understand or grasp the concept of how close I am to my dog.
Yeah.
Baxter is not... I spent all day on Sunday, I think, just laying with him while I was working, telling him multiple times, I love you so much. You're my best friend in the whole world. Mommy loves you. You're the best boy. I'm so in love with you.
As one of your best friends, I don't quite understand that, which is funny because you look at my thing with Beyonce and you're like, I don't quite understand it. But that's love, where you look at someone and you go, I don't understand it, but you do you, boo-boo.
Yeah, but Baxter's physically with me.
So is Beyonce. It'd be funny if
she's
locked up.
Closet. She's in the back
Sing
of the Subaru.
for me. It's like Phantom of the Opera. Sing for me.
We're scaring the dog.
I love that movie.
But so I got his DNA test results back. I screamed. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I didn't even want to look at it at first because it was just this like insane feeling. So I thought Baxter was going to be like just a couple of things. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big things.
Oh, okay.
He's a true mutt. So looking at him, Baxter looks like a black dog. He looks like a big Opie. So I want you to guess what his like main, or like guess one of the things that he could potentially be.
I would assume like a Stafford pit bull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Staffordshire Terrier is 15%.
Okay.
American Pit Bull Terrier is 22%.
Okay.
So all in all, he's like 37% pit bull, bully breed.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
If I could remember off the top a pit bull lyric, I would sing it, but nothing's coming to my mind.
Fireball. I don't know. Mr. 305.
We clearly go to too many weddings.
Anyway, guess what his next big thing is? It's pretty obvious for what he looks like.
Besides pit bull?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, lab?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's 21% Labrador Retriever.
Oh, okay.
Now, his third biggest thing, he's 18%. I never in a million years would have guessed that this dog was 18% anything but, me. But 18%. Give me one guess.
Why am I thinking something crazy like fucking greyhound or something? I don't know.
I thought he was going to be a greyhound too. Not a touch of greyhound in that boy.
I think that about Wishy because of her deep
That's
chest.
what I thought about Baxter.
Yeah.
Rottweiler.
Oh. Here's what I'll say. He does have a pretty square head. Like he's got a, you know what I mean? So I could see that.
I know. And then he's 14% Great Dane. With them long legs.
Yeah, I could see that.
I always thought it was greyhound, though. I thought it would be a greyhound. Yeah. It's not. So he is 37% bully breed, pit bullish, 21% Labrador Retriever, 18% Rottweiler, which, like, in our house now, we're like, come here, my little Rottweiler. Like, we treat this dog.
Yeah.
He is a human. I told my mom this the other day, and I'll tell you, too. Your dogs are dogs. Like, they're very normal dogs.
Yeah.
They would trade you in for the mailman.
Yeah.
They would, Baxter, I will never have a dog like this ever again.
Yeah.
In my entire life, who follows me everywhere. Watches me like Baxter? A hawk. I got him in 2017 when he was 8 months. I don't know for sure how old he was, but
was it just you or was it you and your ex?
No, it was my ex-husband.
Okay.
And my ex-husband did not want a second dog.
Yeah. So you already had
very
Harper.
upset about it. Yeah. And I knew Baxter. I know Baxter
Yeah.
from like a previous life. Like,
how did you come across Baxter?
Funny story. We weren't in the market for a dog, but I was just scrolling on Pet Finder, which I used to do for fun.
Yeah, me too.
But I would just cry. I would never like land on a dog and be like, okay, I need to meet this dog, because I already had a dog and 2 cats and, an ex-husband.
Yeah.
Or a husband at the time. But I scrolled through 10 pages. I saw this photo and I knew this dog. And people are going to think I'm insane unless you have a soul dog that you've ever connected with like this. Like, I saw his eyes, I saw his photo, and I was like, I know this dog from somewhere. And I sent an email right then and there. And then I met him, and then I cried about him, and then I got him. And ever since then, that's my motherfucking boy.
And I will tell everybody, if you've never interacted with Baxter, he really is the most chill. Like, he just wants to be by Nikki's side.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, he would murder for me and I for him.
Yeah.
So the fact that like this happened and this came up, I was elated. It was the best. Like, literally, I was crying.
Okay, shout out. What company did you use for this?
I don't know. Wisdom Panel.
Okay, Wisdom Panel.
And then I got the email that was like, upgrade to see Baxter's relatives. Upgrade to see Baxter's health and traits. So, of course, I paid $50 to upgrade to see his 2 extended family relatives.
Aww.
Baxter is from Missouri, Kansas, Missouri-ish area.
Excuse me.
All of his relatives are from that area. So he has 2 relatives. One's 19% related to him. So like an aunt and uncle or like potentially a second sibling. I don't know what that means, but he's got people out there.
Oh, are you going to connect with that? Like, can you
Absolutely
connect
not.
with that?
If it was like his mom or his dad or an actual sibling, then I would. But that's his sibling.
That's really cute.
Relative. I don't fucking know. So it's like Ancestry DNA for the dogs.
I feel like I should get it for my 3.
I think you should too.
Mostly that one. That little one.
Wish. I'd be interested to know what they all are. I really think you should do it.
But Opie, I'm really curious. This little nugget. So
I had the best day of my life, and that was pretty much it. I went to the Minnesota Bride event on Tuesday of last week, so a week ago today. Shout out to Grace. She won Best Content Creator via Minnesota Bride 2025. I'm on that team, so it is nice, to support your people.
Yeah.
What else did I do this week?
We didn't shoot together at all this weekend.
No, I did do a content wedding this weekend. Very lovely people.
Yeah.
Very nice. Met some newer photographers in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Very lovely people all around. What else did we do?
You had a styled shoot yesterday.
Went to a styled shoot yesterday at Woodland
Stunning.
Glass House. It was beautiful. Shout out to the tiny florist. I want to get this name right because this florist is honestly incredible.
Yeah.
So yes, shout out to at the tiny florist on Instagram. Super impressed with their work. Yeah. I was telling Meg, I told the florist, I was like, my friend is getting married or eloping in Vegas. Like, this bouquet that you created, I feel like would fit perfectly with like her vibe, like with the flowing kind of cascading look, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was
after the
so
episode,
beautifully
you should show
done.
it to me. Like, show me some video.
Oh, it was so good. And I was like, she's eloping in Vegas though. I don't know if you travel. She was like, I have a friend in Vegas and a distributor in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like if she wants,
like,
I would
bet.
love to. Like I would blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, don't get your hopes up because I'm not hiring you. So, but
no, I'll connect with them. I'd love
literally
to see what their thoughts are.
work was so beautiful, so stunning. The bouquet was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
So she actually put wire that she manipulated and put flower heads on wire so that she could manipulate how it sat in there. And the wire was gold. So it was very like just so cool. I was like, girl, you are
we love that. We
a
love
genius.
the
I
movement,
love
like
these
how whimsical.
these ones.
Yeah.
Don't know what you are, but I love you. So yeah, Craig and I leave on Thursday for a race called Road America that we go to every year. Craig's been going for like 30 years. I don't know. I'm not a racetrack girly. I'm not a race car girly, but because I love this man, I go with him and his badass sons every year. It is near Sheboygan, so it's like 30 minutes outside of Sheboygan. You know, it's a thing. And I'm bringing my other son this year. I am bringing Baxter for the first time, so we'll see how he does because we have a dog-friendly Airbnb. And I just don't want to leave him because I'm going to Chicago the following weekend. Yeah. So
and you did Italy and stuff this year. Yeah, like you're over the separation.
I'm over separation. Like I know, I need my dog. So
that's fair.
Anyway, that's my life. I know you have a long list of things.
Let's hear them. They might go quick. As you all know, I have these stupid thoughts throughout the week. I write them down and I let Nikki deal with it. So first things first. Lumbar support on a car. Mm-hmm. Okay. How crazy would I be if I got one of those pads that went behind my back?
Not crazy. We are at an age where we need to do all the things. I'm talking cushiony shoes, lumbar support, get a new mattress. Like we need to do all of the things at this point in our lives to fully take care of ourselves. Yeah. If I look insane, I don't care.
Yeah. I'm trying to be comfortable.
Like I don't care.
I truly I'm in the car for so long. Yeah. Like I'm taking these 5-6 hour drives sometimes and I'm like, okay, my back hurts. Yeah. I have a bit of an arch in my back, and the fact that it's like there's nothing between my back and the seat. There's just like I hate it so much. I've literally I think I'm going to get
one.
You
should start doing pelvic exercises because I used to have an arch in my back too, and my trainer at the gym was like, yeah, you have a pelvic tilt. Oh. You need to start correcting that. Otherwise, your lower back is going to hurt significantly worse than it already does
when you're older or something.
Yes. Yeah. And so correcting that pelvic tilt would help.
I just had a big badonkadonk.
I thought that I did too.
And they're like, no, you actually have a medical issue.
The guy was like, yeah, you're standing funny. And I was like, okay.
The way I would have just driven into the Mississippi. Like, okay.
No,
thank you for that.
Walk out.
I think I don't know if we had talked about this. I don't think so, but Cowboy Carter has officially ended. Tour is done. Vegas shows happened. Brought out Destiny's Child. I stayed up all night and watched the live stream. It was phenomenal. And now we're just going to wait for Act 3, which fingers crossed will be a rock album of some sort. But for the Cowboy Carter era, I would love if there was a movie that came out. I will do a private theater rental and we will go see it with no one in my fucking periph. Just we will go.
Okay.
Adam can come too. But I had a dream last night that I brought Opie to a Beyonce concert and Beyonce peeped him and like took photos with him. And I woke up and I was pretty disappointed that didn't happen. But can
I just say really quick, I've been having the craziest dreams lately. And
how long are you sleeping? Because when I sleep a little longer, my dreams get fucking nuts.
Yeah, probably. Because we've been going to bed early.
Yeah. Like 6 hours, If I'm up to 8 to 9,
Crazy
dreams.
Like, and okay, so here's the thing about me. I have vivid dreams, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this, to the point where I write paragraphs when I wake up of what happened.
Yeah.
Or I'll do voice memos of like, okay. And they're like 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's sick.
I should do that. I do remember them, but they quickly disappear, the memory.
It's scary.
However, maybe I already told you this, but I had a dream when I was very young. You're so sassy. When we're not on camera and she can like whisper things to me and you can't hear them, you know it's getting diabolical. But I had a dream when I was really, really young that I will never forget. I remember it all the time. And it was, have you ever seen the FIFO Goes West, the little mouse?
Okay. Is it a cartoon?
It's a cartoon.
Okay.
Yep.
I
And
know
he's
what
got
you're
like a
talking
big
about,
old
the big
hat. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a dream and he like goes west with his little mouse family and they
His
get
little rat friends.
Right. Their little rat friends and they get separated. He gets separated from his family. I had a dream and I remember the apartment we lived in at the time. So I must have been 4 years old. And I remember this dream so vividly that I was in this situation. I was quote unquote FIFO, if you will, and I got separated from my family. We were in the middle of the desert. And I got on a bus and they got on a bus. And then I got off the bus to run into a gas station to get one of those. Do you remember those chocolate Wonder Balls where you'd break them open and there was little toys inside?
Yeah.
I ran in to get one and I came out and the bus was taking off and my whole family was on it. And I just sat there devastated. And I woke up, tears down my face. And I've remembered that dream since 4 years old.
Did you ever have it again?
Never had it again.
Have you ever had reoccurring dreams?
Yes, but they're weird. Like they're nonsensical. They don't make sense. It'll be like, you saw Interstellar, right?
Yes.
Where he's like trapped in the bookshelf
Yes.
and he's floating all around. It's shit like that. It's nothing that makes sense to me. It's just, I'm stuck in a weird place that doesn't make sense. And that's the reoccurring dream. And I wake up and I'm like, we've had that one before.
No, literally one of mine is like driving in like Paris, but it's not Paris, and the interstates are insane and they're huge winding roads, and I'm like, this must mean something if I keep having it. And then the other one was like kind of fucked up where it's like, you know, like a foggy scene. Imagine like Valley Scare and you're about to get on a ride, but it's like really like foggy out and dark and the lights are lit up and there's like a clown, like a scary clown, and you're about to get on a ride. Yeah, that's another one.
Hell no.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like my dreams, look at this. Like I write out all my dreams and I just literally don't. Oh
my God.
Yeah. I don't know.
Make a book one day.
It goes, I literally dreamt we were all in Mexico for blank's wedding. And for some reason we had all family, like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. The whole synopsis.
And I'm like, did I just write a screenplay for a movie?
You know what's interesting as well? As I've gotten older, I do not have nightmares. I don't have dreams where I ever wake up scared.
I think I do. I definitely do.
But I couldn't tell you when that stopped.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
But I just...
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
No. No. I'd probably check myself into a mental institution. I'm so afraid of things, though, that like I actively avoid anything that would scare me. The other day, I can't remember what movie we went to see, but there was some trailer that was scary. Adam said he saw my ass leave the chair so high.
Like a jump
from
scare?
a jump of a movie trailer. And I'm like,
hey,
and I know I've said it before, but that should be illegal.
Yeah.
You're going to give some bitch a heart attack.
Yeah.
They're going to die because they came to see Superman and you put on a scary movie trailer.
Period.
It's just stupid.
Period. Yeah, sleep paralysis is not for the weak.
No. Okay.
We should have like a Halloween themed episode, one where we like tell scary stories. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
but
here's the scary story. I booked a client and they're crazy. Just kidding. Just kidding. That
Not
is
real.
really a joke. I love all my clients that I currently still have.
There you go.
Okay, I shot 2 great weddings this weekend. It was really fun to see the differences in both, but the similarities, because one of them was private residence, Small guest count, lots of love, lots of fun. Loved it so much. But then the other one was a little bit larger guest count, but still not huge by any means. You know, beautiful venue, a little bit more traditional, but still with fun elements. And it was just, both couples were so phenomenal. I loved shooting them. I loved editing them. Adam was at the Friday wedding with me shooting camcorder footage.
Love.
This man was supposed to shoot 45 minutes of footage. He shot
like 4 hours.
Almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, I just don't want to miss anything. And I have to give it to him. I'd rather him do that than shoot too little.
Undershoot
or
it.
not get the right clips and all that stuff. Because here I am like, hey, here's the timeline of the day. So let's say like ceremony is on the timeline. Here are the 4 things during the ceremony I want little clips of.
Right.
No, he's taking the whole vows.
Yeah.
Like he's not taking a clip of it. Because he's nervous. He's like, well, I don't want to miss anything. I'm like, okay, that's fair. But then I'm like, okay, well, you are going to pare down this 3 hours worth of video and cut out stuff that we don't need so that I can look at it and make a highlight video out of the footage that is usable. Also, I need your advice about something. I had an engagement session last night, 90 degrees, okay?
Yeah, it was sickly.
It was sickly. There was a thunderstorm rolling in. We were in a heavily wooded area.
Where?
We did Lake Elmo Park Reserve.
Okay.
So woods everywhere, tall grass. Again, there's a storm coming. So there are mosquitoes
everywhere.
And I'm talking like I saw mosquito bites on one of my not one of my brides, but the bride. And she's got like giant, they almost look like they're beginning to be welts. That's how big these things are. So
she must be really sensitive to them.
Yes.
Too.
She was also hitting them like she was a boxer. It was so, because at one point the groom had one on his like face and she like smacked it pretty hard. And he's like, Jesus Christ. And then I saw her smack herself and I was like, oh no, that's just how she rolls. Cause she be hitting herself to kill these things.
And that's how I am.
Yeah. But the mosquitoes were so bad. So the session should be an hour. It was about 40 minutes. And I was like, hey, we've gotten hundreds of photos. I was also moving so fast because of the mosquitoes that everything I would normally do in 60 minutes, we fit into 40 minutes. Like we were good. I got all the photos that I know that I wanted, all this stuff. And I want your thoughts on, they paid for a 1 hour session. I only gave them a 40-minute session. Although I feel strongly that I gave them all the photos I would have given them with an extra 15 minutes, something pulls at me where I go, should I like offer them some free prints? Should I offer them like a wedding album after the fact? Like, should I make up that cost difference?
Okay, an album is a huge cost difference.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe a couple of prints, sure.
Yeah.
But an album is an insane amount of work on your end to then curate the photos and put together an entire album and, pay for the cost of printing a like bespoke album. That's more money than your client ever lost in 15 minutes less of photos.
That's fair.
So
I think I just immediately go like, how can I make sure that they don't feel duped?
Did they feel duped?
No, they seemed absolutely fine with ending the session. I think they were like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
But I think
the best thing you could do is say, hey, I know that things, did they pick the location? Did they want to go there? Or?
They were like, hey, here's a shot of like our family, like a place we go with our family out in Nebraska, big wide open skies. Like, do you have anything that gives this vibe?
Okay.
So I recommended the location because it opens up on like rolling hills and it's beautiful and they loved it. And I love shooting there. It shoots really well, but I've never experienced mosquitoes.
Well, then just send them an email and say, hey, I'm so sorry. This was a one-off. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't on our side and neither were the mosquitoes, clearly. Yeah. If you guys would like to, I would love to offer you a complimentary reshoot at somewhere else. Do that. Well, then don't.
I am trying to limit my engagement sessions in general. So I get that. I think a year ago, that would have been my first reaction. It's like, hey, we can do. But I think I'm going to send them an email, just like you said, with like that kind of intro.
Right.
But then just be like, I know we didn't go for a full hour. If you'd like, here's a link for like doing a print pack.
There
like
you go.
A print pack.
Done.
for either engagement session, or we can save this for wedding day just
Perfect.
to, you know, yeah.
Because what is 20 minutes in the grand scheme of things? What other pose were you going to fit
Yeah.
in? What other location were you going to be able to move to in that short amount of time that really makes the difference? The last 5 minutes of a session are saying goodbye anyway.
Yeah. Then also Adam was there doing film. So typically I'm doing film and digital on my own. So that's taking extra time.
Yeah.
But he's doing film. So it's
So
like,
you got double bang for your buck.
yeah.
So
I'm like,
I wouldn't even be worried.
this is moving quicker than it needs to be. Okay. 2 other things. We took our boys on their first walk.
Yes, Opie did such a good job, buddy.
He did such a good job. Opie is a really good dog. Like,
He is a really
for
good dog.
being a puppy.
Yes.
Shook.
Literally so well behaved.
Yeah.
He's a good boy. Obviously nobody holds a candle to Baxter. Like, he is the best boy. But
Yeah.
Opie, really, for being an 8-month-old dog, mind you, Baxter's 8 years old. So
Yeah.
like totally different.
Yeah.
And for him to be 8 months old, he did so well. And we had a great time and fully plan to do that way more often now, because like,
Agreed.
if I can take Baxter anywhere, I'm going to.
Agreed. And they got on well. I think Opie, right at the beginning, was all over Baxter. And then once he realized that Baxter was like, bitch, I don't care. Like, get away from me.
Does not care.
Yeah, like,
That's the thing.
he's not going to react to Opie.
Right.
Opie's like, oh, okay.
Right.
I guess I'm not going to chew on your leg or anything
Yeah.
like that. Whereas my dogs they're going to wrestle with him. And then he gets excited and wrestles, and it's a whole thing. So super excited about that.
It was perfect.
Let's talk a little bit about the magazine that we were looking at. And I would love to hear people shout out in the comments your thoughts on your photos being used in advertisements without credit given. So this isn't like, oh, the venue put in a big spread in a magazine or anything like that. It's not a published wedding. It's just
It's an ad.
It's an ad. This, company wanted to put one ad in a magazine, whether it's a little square or a big old page, and they used your photo. They liked your photo enough, used it as their photo. But there's either no place to give credit or just credit wasn't given. I'm just curious if you're like, yeah, cut your losses. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Who's really looking at the name of who took the photo? Like, is it really that big of a deal? Well, if we weren't photographers, would we look
Maybe
at that?
You never know if somebody's looking at an image, whether it's an ad or not,
Yeah.
and loves it so much, and it was like, wow, I would love to know who took this photo so that like I could use them as my photographer. You
That's
never
true.
know.
That's true. I have to be honest, as a photographer, and I try to like think of it like maybe you're doing it because of that. Every time I see a photo on Instagram that I like, I'm looking at who the photographer
Same.
is before any other vendor.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't not that I don't care, because I know it takes several vendors
to bring it together.
To bring it together and to make magic actually happen. It's certainly not just a photographer, but when I see the image, do I want to, specifically as a photographer myself, do I want to see that photographer's work? 100%.
Agreed. And the same, if I were planning a wedding and I see a photo and I really love it, I want to know who took it.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I love that venue. That's great. But who took the photo?
Right.
That if I book that venue, who do I want the photographer to be?
Agreed.
So I don't know if anyone's listening to this that does work for magazines. I think it just needs to be industry standard that there needs to be names of who the photographer was. However, that does bring up a point of like, well, what about the rest of the vendors who made that photo happen?
That's true.
The planner, the designer, the caterer,
It's
whatever.
a slippery slope.
It is
you
a
fall
slippery
down.
slope. So it's kind of like, okay, where do we
Draw the line,
especially if it's a tiny little advert? Like, there's really not space to put everybody.
Yeah.
And even before photography, I will say that, I did a styled shoot where there was a planner, designer, and the same person had done the rentals, like had done so much of it. And to me, if you think of it like a call sheet of, actors, to me, they're the first on the call sheet. I'm
Agreed.
not. They've done all this work. They were there hours before I even got there. I just came and shot what they had put together. So it's like, I'm not saying that photography is more important than any other vendors. Absolutely not. But it is a photo that I took. But again, it's a photo that I took of all these other vendors' hard work.
Right.
So this is why we talk about these things, because as I'm talking, I go, oh, well.
Yeah, let me think about that.
Right.
And also, is it the magazine's responsibility or is it the person who is submitting for the advertisement's responsibility to credit you and say, hey, can you please credit this photographer? I don't know.
I don't. Because in the magazine, there were some that were credited and there were some that weren't. That is weird to me. It should just be everybody. If you're going to have some of them, the ask should be, hey, here's the advertisement. Who was the photographer? Like, if you're going to put it on one, it should go on all. But again, I'm not saying what's right in terms of who are you tagging. Do you tag the planner? And that, like,
I don't know.
There's no right answer.
There's literally no right answer.
So I'd be interested to hear comments from you guys. Tell us what you think. What's the right answer? If it's an ad, do we just cut our losses and say it is what it is? However, then that could lead into, like, number one, should the vendor have to ask permission to use it as an ad? Because this is not for personal use, social media website. You are using it as a promotional, like, material. And you didn't pay for it. You don't have the copyright for the photo. So that's interesting. I know that, let's say it's a venue. Venues have contracts with their clients. And I hear that some venues put in their contracts, like, we can use your photos for promotional things.
Which is so interesting to have that with a client, like the bride and groom.
Yeah.
You know,
when they don't own the photos.
So, like, convoluted and confusing and complicated because, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now you're making my brain tingle. And I just, it's early. Like,
because the couple doesn't own the copyright.
Right.
I do.
Right.
The couple, even in my contract with the couple, it says, you can use these for personal use, but if Miller Lite calls and says, I want to use this for a commercial, you connect them with me. That is not your, like, you don't own the photo to just give to them. And so the venue can't do that necessarily either. But again, you get into, like, how crazy do I want to be as a wedding vendor with these wedding vendors who I do like partnering with, and do I want to be a huge biatch?
Yeah.
Because, and I said this to someone, there's that guy with the English accent that goes on, tyrants about things like this on social media and weddings, and he talks about, like, I'm sick of giving photos to vendors, or I'm sick of it being the expectation that I'm going to give photos to the vendors. I think that's a little crazy.
I agree.
I am happy to give out the photos. Yeah, don't be making money off of my photos, but nothing, and we've talked about that before. I wouldn't have the photos if it wasn't for the rest of you.
Right.
So why are we being so crazy when it comes to that? But we ran into this specifically over the last week, which is why I'm bringing it up again, of, like, these adverts and advertisements. I don't know where adverts is coming from.
Yeah,
like, from the 20s.
What is that word actually?
It is.
Okay.
It means advertisement, but just maybe from 1920s. We were saying we were watching.
I will say, like, based on the copyright thing, really quick, I saw somebody post in a Facebook group, a photographer anonymously posts, like, hey, I ran into this situation with a potential client. They went through my contract and were going to send it back and submit their deposit. And they came back saying, like, they are basically demanding all of the raw photos be delivered to them. And this person was like, I don't deliver raw photos. I never do. Do I cut my losses entirely because they're being very adamant about it?
Yeah.
The client is. Or do I stand my ground and just remain firm on the fact that I do not provide that, and if they choose not to move forward with me, then that's fine. And I commented and I said, well, tell them that it's $50,000 for the copyright for all of the images, to receive the raw images.
Yeah.
50,000.
If I'm being realistic, I would give them out, but it would be a fee, and it wouldn't be $50,000, but, like, it might be like $7,500 to $10,000 extra. And we talked about this. I think I saw a photographer who said, in all of my wedding bookings, I give them the raw footage or the raw whatever,
Images,
but it's built into the price. Like, these are hefty packages, because I want you to be able to, like, if trends, you know, come and go and you can have them edited a different way, you go for it. But I don't know who's really in the market where every single couple can afford to pay you $25,000 for coverage and for the raw photos. I have no idea. But I've had people ask me for the raws, and I give them the price, and they go, oh, never mind.
Okay, thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Anyway, thanks for coming to our TED Talk today. We're going to jump into our story.
While you go into the story, I'm going to grab something because I have a surprise for you. So
I'm nervous. You want me to just read this story?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Who's the asshole? Never thought it would happen to me. Only heard stories about it and had it happen to other friends. I asked my best friend of 3 going on 4 years to be a bridesmaid in my wedding. It was her first ever wedding she would be in and first ever bachelorette party to attend. She said yes, and I have never seen that girl more excited in my life. Mind you, I asked her the minute I got engaged, which was September of 2024. I got married in October of this year. We hang out and she tells me almost every day that she has games planned for bachelorette party. She wants to cook dinner for us. She had a gift for me. She showed me all of the outfits she wants to wear and the bridesmaid's dress she really wants to get for the wedding. Fast forward to June of this year. She all of a sudden is being short with me, not really wanting to talk about the wedding. A weird question comes up at a happy hour we were at. She asks, so, do I have to walk with someone down the aisle? I gave her a puzzled look and said, what do you mean? Yeah, that's usually how it goes. She then proceeded to say how her boyfriend might not like her doing that. And I honestly didn't think anything of it and decided to just let it go. A week before my bachelorette, she still hadn't paid our Airbnb fee. I get a text saying she won't be at our going out night during the bachelorette. I asked her why and said I was really sad she wouldn't be able to make it. She then said she didn't want to be in a vulnerable state. Now, I'm not the kind of girl that goes to clubs and likes strippers. I am.
Get it. Let's go to Deja Vu.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
I'm old. So we're getting some drinks and dancing a little and then going home early. I asked if she could still send me her share of the Airbnb since all the other gals had already done that a while ago. She did without saying a word. She then texted a day later saying she would no longer be attending my bachelorette party. This was after she had planned all of the excursions and games. I told her not to bother coming to the bachelorette and not to bother being in my wedding and wish she would have said something sooner to me. She then proceeded to throw it back on me and say that I was being a bad friend. And that's where our friendship ended. Who was in the wrong? I hate that this friendship has ended. And hot take, I think it's the boyfriend's fault. Obviously. It's always the boyfriend's fault.
100%.
Agreed.
Men ain't shit.
Literally.
Except for the men listening and our men specifically.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we love you.
Love you.
No.
Yeah,
he is feeding something into her ear.
Insecurity. And he's definitely...
Also, I don't want to be... we need to stop using these buzzwords. We have taken like anxiety, vulnerability, trigger, like we've taken
all
these
the things
so far where I go,
even depression.
You
can't,
can't,
I'm so depressed. Like, you're sad.
You're sad, and I get it.
The Cowboy Carter concert has ended. You're sad.
Oh no, no, I'm fucking depressed. You literally got here today. We were blaring it through the speakers. No, I was sad, but we've taken all of these words so like
too far.
You are using them as an excuse to not human.
Yeah,
like. Why are you on? Oh, I don't know how to say that nicely. You are on this planet for such a short amount of time. So to be like, you know, I don't want to walk down the aisle with someone else because I just feel vulnerable. Now, if you were like, you know, actually, I just was assaulted 3 months ago and I don't really want to be around men. That's different than being like, I have a boyfriend and he's uncomfortable, so I don't want to be vulnerable. Vulnerable by what? Is he going to whoop your butt? Like, what are you talking about?
The vulnerable was about going out for the bachelorette. The going out part. But even so, I'm sorry, you're with a group of girls and like she said, we're going to have drinks and maybe dance a little. If you don't want to be vulnerable, don't drink. Yeah. I mean, let's say this. I know that there are situations that any woman or male can find themselves in that may not seem like a vulnerable situation that can turn to that.
Yes.
However, if you go out with the intention, and sometimes it happens even when you do go out with the intention to, just be sober and have a good night, but you're with a group of friends, let them know that you're concerned beforehand, and then allow them to be good friends to you and to keep
Watch
an eye
out
on
for
you.
Yes. Yeah. But it just sounds like your boyfriend did not want you to go out.
Your boyfriend has insecurity.
Yeah. And he
is
made
a bitch.
It so, yeah.
He's a bitch.
He either fed some things into your head or you found a way to.
Yeah. Your boyfriend is a bad boyfriend. Let's say that.
Yeah. But also to be like, I'm just not going to go. And now you call your friend a bad friend for saying like, you know what?
Don't be at my wedding.
Don't come at all.
I'm cool with that.
I'm not here to tussle with you about things. And you go, well, you're a bad friend. You don't know what a friend is.
Yeah.
This is.
And while I was reading this, I was thinking again, which I've said before, this is not your friend. This is somebody who maybe at first was your friend and had the intention of being a good friend, but found themselves in a relationship that is extremely controlling and is not allowing them to be a friend to you any longer. So that's not your friend.
No. I actually was just listening to Anna Kendrick. This is an old episode years ago on Dax Shepard's podcast. She has a really great movie that came out, and of course I can't remember it, but it was kind of about an actual relationship that she was in with a very controlling.
Is it the one with Blake Lively?
No, it's not A Simple Favor.
Okay.
It's one where it's like it portrays Anna Kendrick in a very manipulative relationship and her friends are trying to get her out of it. And it is really good. And I think it was triggering yet therapeutic for Anna Kendrick because she was in a relationship like that. So she was trying to play that out on screen. And also, if you guys can hear Wish barking, sorry. If we can hear her that loud, I bet the mic can hear her that loud.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What is all this?
She's just not feeling it today. Okay. We had talked about on
I'm nervous.
a previous episode. Wouldn't this be funny if I'd be like, well, this is feedback I actually have for you as a friend.
You're a bitch.
You're a bitch. It just says the word bitch. On a previous episode, we had talked about how in my very first year as a wedding photographer, I gave tips and tricks to a whole assembly of photographers in my very first year. And I said, I know I have the notes somewhere of advice that I gave as a first year photographer.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
And I was cleaning this office and I found my notes.
I want to hear it.
So I thought, let me surprise you and we'll end the episode
What
on
the
this.
fuck did you write these notes on?
Okay, so these are
Parchment paper?
Yeah, so since we're audio only, these are clear stickies. They are
parchment paper.
They are sticky notes, but they're clear. And what I did is I put them all around my computer. So as I was speaking, I had these phrases to go off of because I knew I wanted to have a specific flow to the call and everything. So I'm not going to read these one by one because, I mean, it's long. But also there's like dog hair sticking to this. But essentially, I was sharing what worked for me and what I suggest. I talked about that we are all accountable to our businesses.
Can we just say that you preface this as a gift for me?
Oh, yeah.
And
I know.
I was truly expecting a gift of sorts. And this bitch pulls out her fucking parchment paper sticky notes.
That's fair.
Carry on.
Anyways, and also I wrote that these are truth bombs that I needed to hear and learn.
Christ.
No, literally. First year photographer.
Cheese and rice.
First
Get out of here.
Okay. So category 1 that I speak on is community. So
No.
Be smart about connecting. Don't stalk people. I actually think that one's still true.
Okay.
So if any of you are listening and you've DM'd Nikki and I 1,000 times with no response or one-word responses, you're stalking and we don't like it. And what I mean by that is, and I even put this like, don't just DM someone like a cold DM and be like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? If you're a photographer, if you're a new photographer and you're DMing me that, I know that you mean, hey, can we go out so I can ask you questions about the business? Yeah. Like try to build connections a little bit more genuinely.
Authentically, yeah.
Granted, I now can riff on these things more now than I'm sure I did back in the day. I'm sure it was pretty bland. But I do talk about like, don't stalk people. Don't DM people over and over and over again. We'll talk about you. I don't know how to say that nicely, but photographer friends talk and they'll be like, guess who DM'd me again, and then yelled at me for not responding to them.
Yeah.
And then that photographer goes, oh my God, they did that to me too. And we all have a giggle. So just like take a breath.
Yep.
Figure out your community, feed into it, but don't be crazy in DMs. So that's one of those tips that I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Support, not just be supported. But I think what I meant by that was like, make sure that if you're trying to connect with other vendors, you're not just trying to figure out what they can do for you, but what can you do for them? Like, is this a mutually beneficial thing? Okay. To me, I would think, like, if you're trying to connect with a planner, a styled shoot might be really helpful where they can show off their design and stuff. Don't just pull up for coffee and then ask them questions like, what can I do in my galleries to make couples happier?
Right.
Like, what the fuck does that help that planner with? So be wary of gossip. This can impact your business. So I'll give you an example of where this came from. I was brand new, okay? And someone asked me, hey, I'm going to work with this photographer. What do you think about this photographer? And I said, I think they're nice. They seem fine. I haven't really worked with them that much. However, they did this one thing that was a little sus to me, but like, whatever. They seem nice. That is what I said. And that became a crazy fucking debacle. Like, that's how simple the phrases that I said. And it became a like, that photographer told that other photographer, who then started posting on their socials about how you can be successful without tearing other people down. Like, all of this different stuff where I go, y'all are insane. I will never ever speak to any of you ever again.
And I'm certainly not telling nobody how I really feel.
No. And honestly though, now you do something, I'm going to speak on it. Like, I do agree gossip is bad, but if you're around trusted friends and someone goes like, oh, I saw you worked with this person and they were not good at their job, I'm going to say something.
Well, I think
so I don't know if I agree with this
when
anymore.
it comes to being something of like impacting clients or impacting a workday or impacting other vendors that you're potentially working with, yes, speak on that shit.
Yeah. Like, I'm not just gonna, the first time this happened, it had nothing to do with clients or vendors. It was personally, they did something that I felt was a little meh about like me. So I wish I didn't say anything, but again, it was so little and that turned into something so huge. And to this day, one of those photographers like added me back on socials and would like comment on my stuff and like DM me. And I never really interacted much because I was like, I don't trust you. Like, I would never say anything to you because I feel like it's not going to stay between us, or like I just got a bad feeling. And then they ended up unfollowing me anyway. And I was like, oh, okay. Well.
You're even sus about me sometimes. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? Did you say something? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, someone asked if Nikki and I were good. And I was like, excuse me?
She messaged me and was like, is there something I need to know? And I was like, I don't even know who asked you this. 100%. I've never met this person
But then how quickly did it change for you where you went, what is happening?
Well, yeah,
it is.
I was
easy.
A little startled.
It isn't. It's easy in this industry to feel like everything is so business, but it's also so personal.
I know.
And especially when you're mixing friends with business, it gets really tricky. Like, how crazy I am, and I know I've brought it up a couple times. I'm not harboring it. It's just the only example I have. When we had that moment in downtown Austin, I almost looked at you. This is how insane I am. Nikki, I almost looked at you and said, who do you think you're talking to right now? We are at my booking. We are like,
I would have left.
No, like I almost was not, who do you think you're talking to? Like, I'm here and you're here. But like, I was so,
I would have booked a flight.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not driving home with you. But also, could you see how I felt in the moment where I was like, we are friends, but like, this is my couple. This is my business.
For sure.
Where things like that do get really hard. And I was proud of myself in the moment of going like, we're both very stressed out right now. This has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with Nikki. Like,
100%.
We're stressed out. But
it was a stressful environment.
Yeah. But I do feel like there are situations that I've run into with other people where they get a bit too comfortable with me. And I'm like, hey, this is...
even vendors at weddings that can have an attitude. And it's like, do we need to reel this in really quick? Because like, I'm not being offensive to you. Yeah. I don't know why you're having this attitude with me when we're working
Like we all
in
have
a venue,
a specific goal right now.
in front of others.
Yeah. I've had a makeup person snap at me, and in my head, I was like, mental note,
Never
recommending you again. And honestly, I probably won't interact with you. And I try to remind myself, everyone has their days.
Yeah.
But when we're in front of people and you snap at me, the little girl in me becomes enraged. Like the little kid again, I go, oh, okay. I feel so small in that moment. And then the rage starts to bubble. So
I get that.
I think I've become a lot more selective with who I interact with a lot, because I'm just like, I need to know that I can trust you, not to like say crazy things to you, but know that you have my back, I have your back, we have our moments, but like at the end of the day, it's Gucci. How can I don't know what this has to do with anything. How connected are you the day of the wedding? In community, I think that more means around the vendors. Are you saying hey to people? Are
introducing yourself?
Yeah, and you're not just like sometimes
creating a welcoming environment.
I think I still struggle with that. Sometimes I roll right into the day. Like if it's noon and I get there at 11:50, which doesn't normally happen, but I'm like gears on, go, and I'm saying hey to people throughout. But I do think it's good to get to a wedding early. Go, of course, say hi to the couple, but say hey to the vendors. Hope everyone's having a good day. La 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 la.
Yeah.
Like. I think that's nice. I think that builds community, and people will remember you more than just like a photographer who doesn't say shit to anybody.
Agreed.
So, okay, clients. Hi, Obekins. Come on.
Oh, he wants those bad.
Yeah, he does. Adam slept up here last night because he was snoring. So I looked at him. I said,
Adam was snoring?
Yeah. So I said, go upstairs. I can't, like, I need to sleep. And the dogs followed him up. Thank God. Because we didn't lock them up last night. And Opie normally sleeps in that little room. And Adam goes, when he cuddles, he doesn't do it like, oh, a cute little circle by your leg.
Like my son.
He wants to drape over your chest. And it's the most uncomfortable thing, but it's so cute. Okay, for clients, set yourself apart. I'm just reading the notes off these Post-it notes that are 4 years old, by the way. Set yourself apart. It's not always gifts. How did you start their impression of you? Here's one thing I want to call out. And we'll talk about this more on our mentorship episode on Wednesday. Or we would have talked about this on Wednesday's
tune in on
episode.
Wednesday to hear more.
Yeah. But your impression or the couple's impression of you starts at social media.
100%.
It starts at the stuff you're posting. So shit like posting videos about, is everybody getting ghosted? I hate that stuff.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Keep in mind that the clients who are booking you a year from now are watching you right now. So what the fuck are you doing? So, but this is actually not the worst advice I've ever, that I've ever said. Oh, it does talk about how if you're starting a new client management system like Honeybook, create a test project and
send everything to yourself.
Yes. How does it
Always.
look as a couple or like as a client? How can you interact with it? Try those things out so you know exactly how it flows for the client.
Agreed.
See, first year Meg was not that dumb. She had some goods. I have on here, quote unquote, it's always our fault. What I mean by that, and I remember this vividly, was if something happens that doesn't feel like your fault, try to find a silver lining of learning in it. And we talked about this on one of our last episodes where I had the family shot list thing where I had it approved for months. But afterwards, the mother of the groom was not happy about one of the combinations and blew up on me and said like I was a disgrace to the wedding industry. And I was so pissed, but I had to look at it and go, okay, what could I have done differently?
Right. And what will I do differently moving forward?
Exactly. So try to always find a learning in everything. The couple isn't your only client. We talked about that with like saying hey to vendors. Word gets around. Other couples you don't respond to. If you're getting inquiries and you're not responding to people, you might be negatively impacting an inquiry you would have gotten 6 months later.
Right.
Because so-and-so's sister originally inquired with you, but maybe their budget wasn't high enough, so you didn't say shit to them. You just acted like you never got the inquiry.
That's so crazy.
I have known photographers who like, if the budget's not there, if they don't like the venue, if the couple they don't feel like is aesthetically pleasing,
what?
They will just not respond. They'll not respond. They will be the ghoster. And this is why I stopped asking for Instagram ads. on my form is because I did not want the couple to think that my first impression of them had anything to do with their face.
Okay.
Or their status, or are they
Sure.
at the fucking Minnetonka Yacht Club or whatever. Like, I don't care. I want to know your vision for your wedding day and why you're wanting to talk to me. Social media, any advice I would have given is shit because I'm so bad at keeping up with my social media. But it says things like, be mindful, people are always watching, try everything, see what works and goes from there. Make the time, essentially get the fuck off of TikTok scrolling and go create content. I don't listen to that. I scroll.
I'm so bad.
I'm bad with the
I'm
content.
so bad.
Which is crazy because when you do post content, it's great.
I know.
love your content creation
It's beautiful,
stuff.
but I'm so bad at like pushing it out for myself, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just so it's ever consuming, and social media is truly a full-time job in and of itself on top of trying to run a business. And it gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
I can't.
As you guys can see from the Cocktail Hour podcast socials. Like we
We're-
got jobs. And then we have our personal or our business, you know.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Understand it's not all about followers. That's huge. I know plenty of people with like 1,000 followers who are booked and busy.
Yep.
So it literally doesn't matter. Most of the time too,
Agreed.
if photographers have a ton of followers, it's a lot of other photographers or wedding vendors. It's not couples. No one's got that many couples who are watching them.
Yeah.
Couples typically will follow a wedding vendor when they're going to book them or they think they might book them in the next 6 months.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're not following them. And they very likely unfollow afterwards because these couples are only following like 100 people. They don't want to be following
17 fucking vendors.
Yeah, especially after they book the ones they've booked, they go and unfollow the rest. So
solid.
We talked about, are you connecting with local vendors? You should know them. This I do believe bad example, because the florists you were talking about earlier, I didn't know who they were, which is shocking because of how great their work is. But you should know who the key players in your industry are, like in your market. You should be able to name 5 top planners, florists, venues, caterers. Like, you need to know who these people are, and not because of what it can do for you, but you just need to be aware of what's going on in your industry. If a couple asks you, hey, D'Amico catering is one of our options, what do you think? You should be able to confidently say, dude, I fucking love D'Amico, which shout out D'Amico, we love you. Late night apps, dinner, like you do a great job, but you should be able to answer these questions.
Spread.
Oh, charcuterie spread.
And also playing into that, not only knowing them, but if you're, let's say, at a styled shoot, again, introducing yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be in the fucking shadows. You are in an environment that is made for creating that community, creating that bond where you are surrounded by these vendors who don't have a whole wedding day to plan. They have time to interact with you, and you have the time to make yourself stand out to them and really create that starting foundation of a connection with them. Okay. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you go up and introduce yourself and rave about, you know, how amazing their work is and how great they are and how you admire them? Like, what?
Yeah. It's only going to help you and them. And especially if you're being genuine about it.
Right.
And same for wedding day. And I get that it does get tough. One of the weddings I had didn't have a first look. So cocktail hour, like the whole time I was busy. But if I wasn't, during cocktail hour, I would be making sure to get shots of certain things that I know it doesn't take away from the couple's experience. It doesn't take away from their guest experience, but that way I'm sending D'Amico shots that they can use.
Right.
Because I go, well, I want them to love my photography. I want them to know that I've got their back as well in terms of content. But the content also goes to the couple and they enjoy it as well. But it's just like, you gotta be a little bit more ingrained. Now, if you don't want to work heavily in your market or you're trying a different market or whatever, okay. But I love our Twin Cities market. I want people to know me. If you say Louis Photography, I want people to know who you're talking about. And so I'm going to try to do the same.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the categories I talk about is pricing. So bookings are not always back to back. Give yourself a break. My CPA at the time gave me advice that said, if you are booking more than 1 out of every 10 inquiries, you're charging too little, which sounded insane to me and still kind of sounds a little insane to me. To me, I'd say like if out of every 10 bookings, you're booking 5 or 10 inquiries, you're booking 5 of them, you might be charging a little bit too less.
Yeah.
That's not calls. That is just inquiries. If I'm booking less than 80% of my calls, I have an issue.
Right.
I want to be booking 100%. Like if we've gotten to a point where we're on a call, unless our personalities are so off, I want to be booking those. But I will say, and I put this on here, I don't know if I really follow this advice, but every booking you get, I'd raise your price a little bit. Now, is that such a bitch to have to update in Canva and then go put it in Honeybook? Sure. But I put $500 or 50, maybe 50.
Dead.
I'd raise it $100 every booking you get.
Yeah.
Go up $100. What's the worst that's going to happen? If it doesn't work, go back down.
Go back down.
That's totally fine.
Do
No
it up.
one knows your prices. So if you put on average on your website, you can send a guide one day, or let's say for 1 month, you send a guide where your package is $5,000. And if you've gotten 20 inquiries and you haven't booked one, well, maybe drop it down to $4,500.
Right.
No one knows except for you. So who cares? I do put don't haggle with clients. If they want a lower price, they can find another photographer, because most of the time the couples who are going to give you the biggest issue is going to be those who are trying to haggle. So, and then I do put that working for free can be worth it. However, here's what I'm going to say about that.
Your opinion has changed.
It has changed slightly. Working for free, like a whole 10-hour wedding day, I don't think you could ever catch me doing that again. Doing a styled shoot with a planner who I really want to work with, totally different. 10-hour wedding day.
That to me isn't work. That's more being able to be creative.
That and networking at the end of the day. But a 10-hour wedding day, oh, it's in Miami. Oh, great. So I get to I get to have SWAS and not get paid? What are you, nuts? Unless it's a market that you feel like if you shoot this one thing for free, that it's going to boom your inquiries, which is very unlikely.
Doesn't happen like that. And I think people are under the impression that it does work like that. And for some, I think in photography specifically, it does not happen like that. In other parts of the events and wedding industry, is that a possibility? Sure, absolutely. But for photography specifically, it doesn't necessarily work like that.
No. I think you would be better if you really want to get into a certain market. You would be better off running an ad or like a boosted story for that location or that venue's location and giving a big discount, but not doing it for free.
Yeah.
I think free, to me at least, screams inexperienced.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trust it. And also, how are you reaching the people who really are in that area outside of that one wedding? It just seemed, and that's how I worked a couple weddings out in Las Vegas, but not like elopements, but just Las Vegas venues. And it's because I ran a story post ad for like $20 for Las Vegas residents and offered a huge discount on wedding photography. And I booked like that super, super quick. Granted, I was charging only like $2,500, but I got to go out there, shoot, and I still got paid.
Yeah.
But also even those didn't open the doors because I didn't continuously try to do that because I realized quickly that traveling for weddings is a lot of work. Small feat.
It's a lot of work.
Content was another section. A couple more here. Creating versus consuming. We talked about that. Second shooting. I don't know what I meant by that. Styled shoots, don't always overstyle. That's a big one. If you're creating a styled shoot, now again, it depends on your market and what you're booking. But when you're first starting out and you're only going to styled shoots that are so aggressively styled that they are not realistic at all, and your editing's not really up to par, it doesn't look luxury, I don't really think you're attracting clients like you think you are.
For sure.
Especially not the ones that are but like that are looking at your price range. I think it's important that you get a couple, just a normal couple who wants to model, work with a bridal shop, get a dress and a suit, and just take them out for bridal portraits and practice that kind of stuff versus how can I take photos of this gorgeous tablescape with this couple like caressing each other? Does that really translate to the bookings that you're going to get?
No.
Probably not. Is that even your style? Probably not. Keep photos current. So like your editing. If your editing changes, you should be updating your editing. Just so everybody knows, Nikki is so enamored with Opie right now.
I'm playing with the dog.
I literally just looked over like I was looking at the camera.
Hey guys, just so you know.
No cameras.
He's my baby. He's so sweet.
Keep your website up to date. Do you want to know what I just did to my website?
What?
Oh, I fucking fucked it.
What?
But in a way that I think I just like it better. I disabled everything. Every about me page, home page, investment page, everything.
I want to look. Where's my phone?
Okay, in real time, Nikki can pull up my website. But my point was, if your editing changes even slightly, go ahead and keep your website up to date, keep your socials up to date. Go back and re-edit photos that you like to feature. Make sure the editing is up to date as possible, and make sure your guides are up to date. Like everything needs to be up to date, which I know is such a pain in the ass. Schedule yourself maybe a day a month where you go and just update everything, or every other month.
I like it. I think it's great.
It is the most simple shit ever. I was like, you know what? Here's the homepage. Here's what you need to know. It just shows you what you need to know. Here's my life. Here's what you need to know. And then here's the contact page. Because at the end of the day, my investment guide gives you so much information and so much more about me. And where I want to connect is on a call.
I agree.
And so I paid so much money for a huge website. And I was like, disable all these pages. I don't care.
I agree.
Last piece, investment. Oh, okay. Expensive equipment or presets won't fix a bad photo. So I just think I talk about like, get decent enough gear. Do you need to buy the most expensive camera and expensive lens? No. But when I do see people and they're like, I shot my first wedding, I'm really nervous about the photos, and it was like a Canon TI Rebel
that's
thing.
a problem.
That is a problem. That is not a professional piece of equipment. You need to invest in something. Do your research. Talk to your local camera store. Talk to local wedding photographers. But like,
that also goes to say, if you have a very nice camera, is it going to take nice photos if you don't know how to fucking use it? And the answer is no.
Agreed.
So you need to learn the gear that you do have in order to execute and get those photos that are going to be, you know, worthy of people wanting to book you.
Agreed. No styled shoot styling is going to make you a better photographer. Just not going to happen.
No,
That's
not how that works.
Gear, like Nick said, you can have the best gear. You can go second shoot the most stunning wedding, and all of a sudden you're like, these photos look like shit. Yeah, you got to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing that I'll say, this is something that I have done that actually has been huge for me, is when you book a client, I want you to have some sort of process where you go to your Google Calendar and go, okay, here's their wedding date. It automatically will probably go in there because of Honeybook. Now, I want you to go back 3 months and put a calendar reminder and say, hey, check in with so-and-so on this date. Their wedding's in 3 months. You want to make sure that there's a timeline draft, a family shot list draft, things like that.
Their final calls.
Exactly.
Get that set up.
Get those reminders placed for you, because once busy season hits, and sometimes this happens to me because I'll miss a reminder. Maybe it was on a Sunday or I was at a wedding and I go, oh my God, I got to get a call on the calendar for this couple. You never want a couple to feel like they're forgotten about. And yes, I work 40 weddings a year, and you might work. I know photographers who work more weddings than me. Like,
I heard one that worked 72.
Yeah.
Here, locally.
Here. That's crazy. Mine, I hear some people, especially down south where it's like pretty nice all year long, could never be me. Technically, you could work 104 if you worked a doubleheader every single weekend. Which, I mean, hey, good on ya. Maybe I could do it for 1 year, but then I could never do it again. Like, never. But 6 months, 3 months out, 1 month out. And then I would recommend their anniversary. I sometimes forget to do this, but I think a nice little hey on your anniversary is nice to them.
Yeah.
Or maybe a month before their anniversary. This is something that could make you stand out. A month before the anniversary, order them a little print pack, doesn't have to be super expensive, and send it out to them for their first anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So those are tips that I gave in my first year, and honestly, they're not the worst.
No.
I do think based on what I know now, I was able to speak to them much more than I was back then.
100%.
But I found these and I just thought it'd be interesting to see what little Bebe photographer thought.
Now burn them.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, hey, they're parchment paper, like you said.
It's literally little parchment paper.
One thing that I want to bring up, even though this episode will come out on Friday and the one I'm talking about was on Wednesday, but just to give you guys an idea, Nick and I were talking and we think what we're going to do is we had talked previously to you about doing like one little education segment and then one story segment. We're still going to keep that format, but we're going to change midweek mini episodes to mentorship episodes where we will go in depth into, I mean, I'm going to start at the top, and we already talked about like gaining clients.
Yep.
And then on Wednesday's episode, we're going to talk about client consultations in depth.
Yep.
Like you should see the list that I created for this. But every week we're going to go over those things. So as you guys know, and we'll talk about it more always in every episode, is we'll have the anonymous submissions. Don't just put crazy stories in there. Put questions.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear?
Ask all the things.
Yeah, ask all the things. So that's going to be kind of the format that we're looking at for the foreseeable future. Again, we change all the time because we're figuring out what works best for us. But thank you guys for joining Cocktail Hour. Don't forget to review and subscribe to the pod wherever you listen.
And make sure you're following along with us on Instagram at cocktailhour.podcast and submit your stories or questions to the link in our bio. Everything is anonymous.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.